Mannadium is the deck that just keeps on giving, and today we're giving with Revolution Synchron. Now, you might have spotted a video from a friend of mine, Gaming Sector, talking about a Scarclaw deck taking advantage of Revolution Synchron for some pretty nasty Ancient Fairy Dragon shenanigans. This is an adapted deck list off of that. I didn't want to play the Cash Zero or Scarclaw cards. I'm more a fan of sort of like having the additional hand traps, the consistency, things like that. But honestly, the aim of the deck is very similar, and they're capable of doing very similar things because all of the core cards necessary for both combos are present. So this is a version of the deck where basically what we're doing is we're aiming for an end board that will have on it a Baron de Fleur, Bestial Disputer, a Free Material Apollousa, Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon, and finally the icing on the cake, Necrovalley. So it is remarkably powerful. The combo is way more powerful than regular Mannadium, and it's basically a 2-card combo. You have your Revolution Synchron plus basically Reamheart or Calarium can get access to it, and Revolution Synchron enables a ton of really funky lines in this deck. I've got a bunch of replays lined up from a duel room that I was in with a bunch of guys from the Discord, like 5 replays or stuff lined up. We are going to be doing another video on this deck in ranked, but these games were just far too good for me to not show off. We had some fire games, so I do want to show those off and give credit to the guys in the Discord for helping us out with the testing. So Revolution Synchron, even alongside any of your other level 4s, alongside any of your other field spells, generally speaking, it's just an amazing card. And the amount of different plays that you're able to do with this card, even like abusing the likes of Calarium and the synergy with his Starfrost, man, we had some really cool lanes with this deck, and I just want to show them off. So we're gonna hop in. I'm gonna show off, I think it's about 5 replays I've got saved. We had a best of 3 match against a member of the Discord called Supreme King, and then we had a few matches against another member called Grim. So big shout out to the guys in Discord. A lot of fun. If you want to get involved in these sorts of things in the future, all you need to do is join the Discord. I find myself on voice calls playing with members of the Discord all of the time. It's what I do with basically my free time. So if you want to get involved, hop in, right? It's free. Subscribe to the channel, like the video if you enjoy watching, and let's just get right into those replays. Alrighty, so we're going to start off with our best of 3 match up against the Supreme King, playing Snake Eye again. Very competitive deck here. We're going to go Calarium, grabbing ourselves a Reamheart. Reamheart going to get hit with Effect Failure here. Our hand is pretty strong, but unfortunately, we have a lot of hand traps and not extenders, so we do have to pass the opponent here. This is round 1 out of a best of 3, so there's going to be 3 matches here, which is pretty awesome. So they're going to top take the Duel Star. Even in hindsight, looking at that hand, holy shit, man. They're going to go for the Duel Star. We're going to ask the Duel Star just because, again, I kind of wanted to bait out a potential cross-out designator or Call by the Grave, something like that. He has Talon and Ash Blossom though, which fucking sucks, man. Not only is he able to ignore and play through our only hand trap that actually resolved, he's able to negate our Maxi and shuffle back into deck our Droll. So just like that, our hand is gone. I am going to speed this up a little bit because this is pretty much just standard Snake Eyes from this point on. They're going to go Duel Star, playing Subversion. Sinful Spoil is going to pitch Link Karibo, summoning out the Snake Eye Ash, grabbing Poplar. Poplar summoning itself. Ash going to send 2 for Flamberge, going to link 2 in the Hita. Hita then going to... Flamberge going to bring 2 back from grave. Then he's going to steal my Ash, going into the Princess. Again, we've all seen these lines, right? So in the Flamberge, Ambler Wheel comes out. Royal Ambler Wheel, by the way. Drippy as hell. Zelantis. And just like that, our opponent is able to go into a pretty easy case of lethal damage for game 1. Fair enough. This was the first game. It would be dishonest of me if I didn't show the first game, but trust me, we're going to turn it up for games 2 and 3. Oh, he did actually give me a homie drop, which was pretty funny, just to see what we would top deck. And we end up drawing into our second copy of Starfrost. So homie drop field, that favor will be repaid. I do not let my debts go unpaid. But let's get into game 2. Alright, and this is where the real magic begins. We're going to start our turn with Reamheart, of course. Our opponent does have that Maxi in hand. They're going to go for it right off the bat to try and get advantage off of the summon of our Meek. We're going to go Ash Blossom. We're going to negate that shit because we have full combo in hand. We actually have Necrovalley in our hand, which is good because without Revolution Synchron, we don't actually search for that card. So it's nice. It's a nice thing to have in hand. So we're going to go Trisuka, bring back the Meek and Trisuka in the Visa Samratara. This is pretty much standard one-card combo line from the Starfrost deck. So if you don't know the one-card combo from Mannadium, pay attention to this, because that's what this is. Gonna grab our Reichphobia. Reichphobia is gonna grab us Rykard. We're gonna special out the Rykard, get searching our deck for Scarclaw, our rival. We're now going to activate Calarium. Calarium's going to grab us the Visa Starfrost. Starfrost then going to pop the Lightheart, summon itself. We're going to immediately then bring back the Lightheart, going into a Baron de Fleur. We should have went Baron and then Lightheart, but it doesn't really matter, realistically. Bring back Visa Starfrost here. Going to link it and our... So here's something that's worth noting. This combo is pretty much nib proof. What you're supposed to do is when you have the Rykard and the Visa Starfrost on the field, you go in the Baron immediately, right? Because one of two things happen there. Either while you've only got Rykard and Visa Starfrost, they Nibiru to prevent you from going into Baron, right? In which case, you're just going to use your arrival, bring back Starfrost, then bring back Lightheart into Cross Sheep, and then go into your Astrolabe, and then you just continue your play, right? You just continue with no Baron. Which is fine because Baron's main purpose is stopping Nib. You've already eaten Nib, so it's fine. The alternative to that is you go into Nib, and now if they try to Nib you, you go into Baron, sorry, and if they try to Nib you from this point on, they can't do anything. So the combo is Nib proof, because even though you don't have a Baron before your 5th summon, you're able to put up a Baron before it actually matters. So if they Nib you at that stage, you still have full combo, you can still play, because you're just going to bring all your shit back from grave. If they don't nib you at that stage, then you've got Baron, and now you can't be nibbed. Nice and easy. So I just wanted to point that out in case anyone wasn't aware of that interaction. We're going to go Vicious Astrolabe here underneath the Cross Sheep, of course. We're going to bring back a monster from the graveyard by boosting up our field by 700. Popping the Meek to resummon the Meek off of the graveyard with Calarium, as well as one from deck off of the Meek's own effect. So we are going to bring one back from grave, that's a level 2, bring one back from deck, that's a level 4. We're going to go into Sprite Elf here. Sprite Elf going to bring back the Meek level 2. Elf is a good card. It's a card that I've been really sort of like back and forth from whether or not I want to continue playing or not, because the extra deck's a little bit tight, but it's not tight enough for me to justify cutting it. Here's where shit gets spicy though. So we're going to go into Crimson Dragon. Now Crimson Dragon searches your deck for Synchro Rumble. Now a lot of people don't play this card in their Mannadium decks. I wasn't playing it until recently. This card is insane. Target a tuner or a level 7 or 8 Dragon Synchro Engrave, special summon it to defense. It does lock you in the Synchro summons for the rest of the turn, but if you play this card well, you're going to really dramatically improve your end board. I actually think I fuck it up here. I do. Watch this shit. Watch me fucking embarrass myself like a damn idiot here. We're gonna win the IP Mask Arena, of course. Then we're gonna go in the another Astrolabe, because my plan here was stack as many materials on board as possible. I was gonna use Rumble to go for a Meek for Engrave to go in the Azurine, but like a dumbass, I activate Necrovalley first, which negates my Synchro Rumble. So that was me being a dumbass. But other than that, this end board would have been either Baron, Dissipator, and a 4 Material Apo, or what I probably would have done instead is a Baron, Dissipator, 2 Material Apo, and a Ice Jade Azurine. So, or 3 Material Apo, sorry. So it would have been probably an awful lot better. But I did fuck it up, right? Hands in the air, I messed up at the very last second. But we do have Necrovalley as well. Necrovalley is an incredible card, especially into a deck like Snake Eyes. You can't play the game. You just can't do it, right? We're going to summon an Apollosa here, and this is where the Azurine would have been really useful. They're going to grab Diabell Star from their deck. They're going to send a card to summon the Diabell Star out to the field. They're going to have to swing in here. If they try to activate their Diabell Star, they're just going to get negated. But like, again, you can look at their hand, look at our field. There's no way that Snake Eyes can play through this. They're going to go Imperm onto the Ash. They're going to cross out the Imperm. I actually think Imperm on Ash is so significant here, given that he only has 1 card remaining in hand, that I'm willing to Baron negate the cross out Designator. Of course, I don't know in his hand that it's a Flamberge at the time, so that was still, I still stand by that decision. I think that was a good usage of the Baron, because that Imperm was super impactful. They're gonna go Heat it to try and bring back the Sprite Elf, but it doesn't work thanks to Necrovalley, and they've got no place. There you go. Again, Synchro Rumble would have made that end board even better, but I did done goof. Easy mistake to make, especially when we were just learning. Like I said, this was my sort of first time playing the deck like this, but it is a fucking blast. Absolutely love it. Next game. And this was the penultimate duel of our best of 3. I am going second. They're going to start their turn with Wanted. Of course, they got called by the grave, though, right? Heaven forbid I want to resolve Maxi, which is totally fine. I kind of think Maxi's is a little bit bullshit most of the time. Our hand, this is like your ideal hand. Revolution Synchron and Mannadium Realmheart in hand is like the hand. That is full combo. So they're going to go for their Sneak Eye Ash. We're going to imperm that shit, of course, as you do. So that's totally fine. I'm just going to assume that they've got nothing. They're going to go Linkuriboh here. Unfortunately, we also know that they have Diabellstar, though. So they're going to send a card for the Diabellstar. Diabellstar gets searching, going to grab the original Sinful Spoils directly from deck to field. They're going to use that Sinful Spoils, sending Diabellstar, summoning out Sneak Eye Oak. Sneak Eye Oak then going to bring back Ash from Graveyard. And just like that, they're gonna combo and play, right? They're going to draw a card off the top of the deck, drawing into Kurikara. Remember that card. We're gonna go Poplar here, grabbing the field spell. Field spell, then gonna play Flamberge directly from deck to field. We're gonna go Linkuriboh from Graveyard, tributing Poplar, summoning itself out. We're gonna use the Poplar, playing Ash into the back row. They're gonna set a card and pass. Now again, with us imperming that Ash, their plays really were for quite limited, but this board here, the way it's all going to operate is they're going to try and utilize Divine Temple and their Flamberge to build a shitload of advantage and try to survive off a couple of hand traps until follow-up. We've only got 4 cards in hand, so having 2 negates is not exactly the worst thing in the world. We're going to go in the main phase 1. We're going to go Reamheart here. They're going to activate their field spell, of course, in response. Then they're going to go Veiler, so I kind of thought to myself, I've got 2 options here. I could call by this Veiler, or I could do this. Reamheart in hand, pop the Reamheart on field to summon itself, dodging the Veiler. Unfortunately, doesn't dodge the Imperm. The only circumstance in which that was not the play is if he had Veiler and Imperm. But it ends up working out. It's okay. The Meek would have been really good, but we still have alternative lines with the Revolution Synchron. Do y'all want to see what kind of board Mannadium can put up without even using Mannadium Meek? It's pretty fire. We're gonna go Revolution Synchron here into the Ancient Fairy Dragon. Ancient Fairy Dragon then gonna activate, popping his field spell to search my deck for my field spell. So his Flamberge gonna summon Ash from the back row. That's totally fine. Popping the field spell, grabbing Calarium. We can grab any field spell we want. We're gonna go Calarium this time because I want some motherfucking starters, right? This plays fire. And I don't mean to like toot my own horn here, but this play was fire. We're going to summon Revolution from Grave. We're going to go Peaceful Planet Calarium, grabbing ourselves Visa Starfrost. We're going to activate Starfrost, popping Revolution to summon itself. Then we're going to use Calarium to bring back the Revolution, going into the Bestial Disputer because we have a because both I and my opponent have a banished card. Disputer is still a safe way to negate a potential Nibiru, so this is still valuable over a Baron. And I would rather summon this while I can, and I have the appropriate materials, and then I can just make Baron later, right? So we've got Disputer and Visa Starfrost, which allows us to go Lightheart, and we're just going to combo off with no Mannadium Meek. This is just Revolution Synchron and Reamheart. Going to go into the right card here, grabbing a Rival, drawing an extra card, because there's 3 more defense position monsters. Going to pop the Linkuriboh. Going to go Rival, then bring him back, Visa Starfrost, Synchro Summoning again into Baron the Flourish. Now we got 2 level 10s on our board. We're going to go level 10, popping the Flamberge, gonna activate Flamberge and Grave. I don't fucking think so, buddy. We're gonna called by that shit. So banished and negated. He's gonna tribute the Poplar, going to play Linkuriboh back into the back row. I'm actually gonna negate that because I have Baron on my field. I'm looking at this like I'm quite safe from the Nibiru. I would rather not have one of my attack points reduced to 0 in battle phase because I kind of want to try to win this turn, right? That's my plan. So Flamberge going to get negated. We're going to see if we can potentially put up lethal damage here. And we more than easily can, right? We're going to go into the Vicious Astrolabe. We actually here, to make up for that first game, we go 35, 35, 500, and we homie drop. I told you, debts do not go unpaid. He gave me a homie drop game 1, didn't mean anything. I'm going to do game 3, all right? Risky move, but we live for it. We're going to bring back Visa Starfrost. We're going to use Starfrost and Lightheart into the Cross Sheep. Now we're going to banish 2 to go in the second Astrolabe. I think you have to run Astrolabe 2. This card is broken beyond compare. Summoning back the right card, Lincoln 2 in the Sprite Elf. I summoned Sprite Elf. It's only at this stage I realized we legitimately did not have Meek in our graveyard. We did this whole thing without Meek. And it's at this stage, I actually kind of fucked this part up because I'm like, oh shit, where's my Meek? I didn't use it. I could have just gone into like a 4 material Apollosa here, or like a 3 material Apollosa instead of doing this. Because we legitimately didn't have a Meek. It just caught me off guard. I'm so used to having it. We're gonna Ash that Wanted. So again, the reason we Ash the Wanted is because if he grabs a Diabellstar, he's going to be bigger than the 2400 attack Apo that we're going to summon, and I would rather have Apo be live. Now that he controls a monster, we're going to go Sprite Elf to bring back the Cross Sheep from the graveyard. We're going to play that shit onto our field. Poplar coming back in the back row, IP, Link 3, 2400 Apo. This is why we didn't want him to have Diabell Star, because his Diabell Star would have been capable of just swinging over this. Again, bear in mind, we don't know that he has Kurakara in hand. We're just sort of like inherently playing around it. They're going to go Snake Eye Ash, normal summon the Ash, going to get negated by the Apo, of course, right? You have to get negated by the Apo. I believe he does try to, yeah, he tries to make a few more plays to try and beat out some more interruptions. He draws off the top of the deck and a tribute off our monster for a Kurakara. He doesn't really have anything else he can do. Jet Synchron and Formula into IP. He's going to go Battle Phase. Unfortunately, nothing left that can be done, so he just takes the L and moves on. So, sketchy start to the match, but we come out on top 2-1. Fantastic game, the Supreme King. Honestly, all things considered, really solid games, and we got to show off quite a lot of our deck in those games as well, which is great, right? Some of those lines were dope. I did make mistakes, of course, here and there. Some of the cards I'm not overly used to playing, and I'm not used to playing the deck in the way that we were. But it ended up working out, and if I was a little bit more mindful, it would have been even better. That's why I'm going to come back to this deck in another video soon, talking about it in ranked, because I do want to practice a little bit more. But honestly, it just feels amazing, bro. But anyways, let's get into a couple of matches with my friend Grim. Alrighty, going first, our opponent Grim here, playing a really cool Orcust Super Heavy Samurai deck. Now this replay here, unfortunately, Maxi is in fact a real card. I'm gonna move my monster before it echoes all over the recording. Unfortunately, Maxi is a real card, so that kind of sucks. We had an insane hand. Grim, I hope you're watching this back and you see this fucking hand. I want you to know how badly I would have ruined your day. But we're going to go Reamheart here. Normal summoning, we're going to grab the Obsidian. We're going to just immediately synchro off into the Ancient Fairy Dragon. No need to give my opponent any more cards than absolutely necessary. Popping our field spell, going to grab Necrovalley. We're just going to go Necrovalley Pass, baby, right? So that's it. This is like our deck's version of Baguska Pass, right? Where it's Necrovalley Pass. You can't Imperm a Necrovalley. You can't Subversion a Necrovalley. This card is a lot tougher to deal with than a regular Baguska, and it's also, in a lot of cases, a lot more restricting, as you're going to see from our opposing Super Heavy Samurai Orcust player. That's a tough deck to not be able to use your graveyard in. That's tough, right? They're going to go Girsu here, summoning out some tokens. Going to go Linkuriboh now, using the Linkuriboh and the Girsu to go into Galatea. Galatea then going into Dingirsu, which is the only card that could have threatened us, which is why I saved my reframing. Realistically, Dingirsu is the only card in an Orcust deck that, on like the initial turn, threatens Necrovalley. So we save the reframing for the Dingirsu. Everything else I'm not too worried about, because I know that even Super Heavy Samurai really wants to play from their grave. Like, you know, they want to go Axel to bring back a motorbike. They want to go Scarecrow to recycle their Soul Piercer. So right now our opponent's sort of scrambling through cards, scrambling through plays, trying to find anything that could possibly work to their advantage. Soul Piercer they're going to search their deck for as much as they possibly can. They go into Mech Knight Crusadia Avramax. This thing is a goddamn menace. Swinging into the Ancient Fairy Dragon, taking out our token as well, and passing it back to us. Having to get through an Avramax then after that turn's going to be tough, but we can definitely do it. Called by the Grave. Hell of a card. A Hero Lives, paying 4,500 life points to summon Elemental Hero Prisma from deck, sending Visa Starfrost to grave to copy its name, summoning out Meek because we now control Visa Starfrost, then going into Lightheart. Don't be this guy. Don't be the idiot that summons your Meek underneath where you're about to put your fucking Lightheart. God damn it. We're going to activate our Primitive Planet Reich Phobia to get rid of our Necrovalley, so we are no longer restricted. Obsidian going to pop the Meek, searching Calarium. We just kind of had to do that because we put Meek in a stupid spot. It's fine though. Summoning out the Reichardt, we're going to grab an Arrival. Activating the Arrival, we're going to bring back the Visa Starfrost from the graveyard. We're going to now use Reichphobia, popping one of his skills, just for follow-up. Going to go Baron de Fleur. Now, Baron de Fleur is a really powerful card in this instance as well. We're going to pop even more of his cards. Calarium, going to grab us Reamheart. Reamheart, pop the Meek to summon itself. Reamheart gets searching. Meek's going to summon another Meek from deck. And the Calarium is going to activate to bring back the Meek from the graveyard. That is hella plus, right? So that is chain 3 plus 3. Love to see it. One back from grave, one out from deck, one from deck to hand. Except we didn't have any search targets. That's right. Actually, remember this. We have already played all of our search targets. So, Trisuka comes out, Trisuka, bring back the Meek, we're gonna go Baron, fuck up the skills, we're gonna Synchro Summon again into Visas Amritara. Visas Amritara then gonna grab us another Calarium, because we literally don't have anything else. We're gonna go into Cross Sheep now. Cross Sheep, then we're gonna use our 2 monsters engrave for the Astral Loud underneath the Cross Sheep, but boost up the field, we're gonna pop his Wakushi just to get a little bit bigger, as well as summoning out a monster from our graveyard, and this is where it gets spicy, my friends. We're gonna bring back the Prisma, we're gonna use these 2 now to go into the Crimson Dragon. Crimson Dragon gonna grab a Synchro Rumble from our deck to hand. Synchro Rumble activating to bring back the Ancient Fairy Dragon. Now we're gonna use the Revolution Synchron in Graveyard, summoning itself back to field as a level 1. Synchro summoning into Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon. Prisma then sending Starfrost to grave from the deck. Crimson Dragon then gonna target the Baron. The Fleur gonna bring out Bestial Dissipator, of course. And at this stage, we were actually this is another small misplay for me. Again, learning the deck, okay? Cut me some slack. What we should have done here is we should have done this Dissipator line first to get the Starfrost. We could potentially have gone into like an Apo or brought out a second Vicious Astraloid to go in the Azurine, something like that. But right now we're Synchro locked, which means I can't bring out my second Astraloid, which means I can't get the materials I need for an Azurine. Slightly unfortunate, but what are you gonna do? Battle phase, swinging in, Avramax getting negated by the Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon. Because we negate the activation of the effect, we can stop Avramax in the damage step, beating over it with Dissipator, activating in the graveyard. We're gonna negate that shit too with the Baron. We might as well. And looking at the rest of our board, this is the easiest lethal I've ever seen. 3k to the face, 37 to the face actually, and then 32 off the Prisma. By the way, 3200 attack on the Prisma? What the fuck was that about, Konami? Shit is hella big. There you go. That's it. That's the power of Necrovalley, right? I mean, Necrovalley is our deck's version of Baguska Pass, and you know what? It's better than Baguska Pass, because if our Ancient Fairy Dragon, for whatever God forbidden reason, survives the turn, it's incredible on our turn again. Plus, we're able to just bring it back from grave off of Synchro Rumbling, if Synchro Rumble during our turn, as soon as we go into the Crimson Dragon to search for Synchro Rumble. So in general, just really good, man. It's just really good. I don't know what to tell you. Having a blast. One more game. Alrighty, and our last game of this video, Maxi in the Super Heavy Samurai. They're gonna have to do their version of Baguska Pass, which is exactly, let me confirm with my notes here, Baguska Pass. Except they're not, they're just gonna go wagon and give it back to me. So we're gonna top deck in evenly matched. I have since cut this card. I got so frustrated applying it. They decided they were gonna bank on their own Maxi. Unfortunately, we were ready. Maxi is a fair and balanced card. Konami banned the card, and then we stop having sacky matchups like this. So in the main phase 1, we're gonna go with Hero Lives. That's right, I wanted to show this one off because we don't get access to the Mannadium line. That's right. So this one's gonna be an interesting way of going through the combo with no Mannadium. So Prisma in the Lightheart. Lightheart gonna get searching for the Reichphobia, of course. Reichphobia then gonna search our deck for the Scarclaw Reichheart, which we can summon to the field, grabbing from our deck the Scarclaw, our rival. So we're gonna pop the Lightheart on the field for the Starfrost. We're gonna use Lightheart, bringing itself back to the field. We're gonna link 2 in the Cross Sheep, and it's kind of important that you get the order of this right. We need to go Cross Sheep first so we can bring this guy back from grave going into Baron de Fleur, and then we can go for our Astraloid, because otherwise we wouldn't have had a level 4 to bring back. So the ordering there was pretty important, and we got it right, which is good. So Vicious Astraloid, capable of popping the wagon. Cross Sheep, capable of bringing back another monster from the graveyard, and that's an easy way to put up incredible lethal damage with no access to any of the Mannadium cards. Plus Necrovalley to add insult to injury. 37, 46, 24, 14. Way too much damage. Easy game. Nice, chill, easy one to show out the stream. Again, the OTK potential of Mannadium, I don't think people like focus on that enough. I think people like look at the combo aspect of the deck and the synchro aspect, the consistency, and they're like, oh, those are the really good points of the deck. This deck can fucking end games, my guy. Vicious Astraloid is a goddamn card, and you cannot disrespect that man. That card puts in work. But anyways, let's get one last look at the deck list. And there you have it. So that is the deck. Those are the matches. Like I said, we are continuing to sort of like change and build upon it, but the guts of the deck is going to be the same no matter what. So basically, the deck is going to look a little bit like... I'm going to remove all the cards that you don't need. Kind of like this. Yeah, so this is like the guts of your deck, right? This is us playing kind of like the bare minimum of everything that you need to play. You can, like, if you don't want to do the Ancient Fairy Dragon lanes as consistently, you can cut Revolution down if you want to. I know it's an expensive card, not everybody has it. You just play as many copies of it as you have. If you have one, great. If you have two, go for it. Three's perfect, in my opinion, because I love seeing this card in hand. Because this plus any of your level 4s, Hero Lives, your field spells, any of that shit is fucking plays for days, right? So Revolution Synchron, I think, is absolutely nuts because Necrovalley is so goddamn powerful. So play as many copies of this card as you have, and you will. If you even have like tuning, right? I wouldn't maybe play both. I think 3 is the hotspot. So if you have like 2 Revolution Synchron, you put in 1 tuning, right? If you have 1 Revolution Synchron, put in 2 tuning. That's only if you happen to have tuning, right? If you don't have Revolution Synchron, chances are you don't have tuning. So I'm just mentioning it in passing. But yeah, so this is really, we're only playing the 1 Reich card, we're playing the 1 Reich Phobia, we're playing the 1 Obsidian, we're playing 1 Arrival. All of these cards you could play more of if you want to lean heavier into your engine instead of playing hand traps. You could definitely do that. I think that playing the hand traps is better, but to each their own. Second, the Arrival might be nice, honestly. That is something I do think about. I don't miss more than 1 Reich card. I think 1 Reich card is totally fine. I can get access to it whenever I want. I don't need it as a starter. It's not really the best starter in the deck. It's not very good at that. A Hero Lives and Prisma is infinitely better, in my opinion. Infinitely better because they get this card from the deck. So I don't really miss having this card at more than 1. I think if you're not playing a Hero Lives and Prisma, you're missing out. And I know that people are going to leave comments and they're going to be like, oh, I don't want to play Hero Lives. I don't want to do this. Don't play it. You don't have to. Just know your deck is going to be worse. Your deck will be better if you play a Hero Lives and Prisma in this version specifically, because you just, for the love of God, want to have level 4s, right? Same thing with the Infernal Banshee version, right? The deck focuses on having access to additional level 4s. That's what you want, right? So whenever you've got a deck that wants that, there's no better way to do it, especially in this kind of environment, than with a Hero Lives. So if you have this card, play it. If you only have 1 copy of a Hero, honestly, even if you only have 1 copy of a Hero Lives, I would still play it. Normal Summon Prisma is not the worst thing in the world, because it's basically just normal summoning Visa Starfrost. So honestly, even just normal summon Prisma is not awful, right? Hero Lives is much better, so I play as many copies of this card as you have. But if you even only have 1 copy of a Hero Lives, I would still play it, and I would still play Prisma. It'll be less consistent, sure, but it's not even necessarily a hard break or anything like that, because it still triggers off your ability to summon Meek from hand. It still sort of gains access to your Lightheart plays. It puts Visa Starfrost in graveyard for a potential Astrolabe play down the line, because you're going to search your deck for right card, which then allows you to go in Astrolabe. So this card's amazing, no matter what. It's even better if you summon it from deck off of a Hero Lives, but even if you just normal summon it, it's not the worst thing in the world. Triple right card, of course, triple me, gotta have it, triple Colarium all the way. Again, you want to play a decent number of field spells, because you have the ability to cycle through them very easily off of Ancient Fairy Dragon, and Necrovalley is just a game-ending card. It really is. But yeah, that's the list. That's everything. We got double Astrolabe in the extra, anything contentious in the extra. I think everything here is fairly self-explanatory, pretty straightforward. I don't think there's any issues with any of this. You could maybe make a claim for Chaos Angel, maybe. I know some people don't like playing a second Astrolabe. I just want to let you know you're objectively wrong. You just play 2 of it. Just play 2 of it. It's that good. It's that good of a card. It's an amazing extender. It's a non-once per turn free 3k body that pops on summon to make itself bigger. So for going for lethal, this card is instrumental. It is, like I said, a non-once per turn extender, which is incredible. It banishes cards, which makes things like your Dissipator live. Everything about this card is perfect. This is probably the single best card Visa Starfrost has ever received. The single best card. I think it's, I don't even think it's close. This card is insane. And right? I'm not going to ramble. I could talk about this deck all day, every day. But that's everything I'm going to say here in this one. Like I said, we are going to revisit this deck and this idea in ranked pretty soon, likely for the next number of days, because I'm having a fucking blast playing it. But if you want to pick the deck up, test it out, have some fun, by all means. Credit to Gaming Sector for giving me the original idea with the Revolution Synchron. I wasn't playing this card initially. I think I'm just going to play this card in like every Mannadium deck from here on out, because holy shit, is it fucking powerful. But that's all I have to say today. Of course, if you got this far, make sure you're subscribed, like this video if you enjoy watching, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye bye.